Greetings, greetings. Thank you for coming through for another stream. This actual video is in response to information that has gone viral in regards to an immigrant leaving a receipt, dropping a receipt, whichever it was left behind, and it was discovered by someone that picked it up that person, as an immigrant, had a over $13,000 balance on Snap and over a $4,400 balance on the Snap cash benefits that are provided by the United States government through our taxpayers' monies, along with all of the monies during this administration that have been sent over to Ukraine and other countries for aid, for assistance, as we are told, right? This is problematic. And then you have veterans that, according to the same U.S. government, claim that they make too much money, whether it's disability benefits, whether it's retirement, that can only get $23. We have a video reference where there's a gentleman that actually receives $23 a month, and he served this country through the military forces. This is an issue. So we're going to get right off into it, and we're going to play a couple of responses. And I'm going to give a possible reason as to why the drastic care or the drastic difference in care between U.S. citizens born and raised here, pay taxes, work, they have investments into this country, can't receive 2% of what Venezuelan immigrants that just touched onto United States soil are receiving, and with nothing invested into this country. Let's go.
Common Sense 101. I got your big reason why you better not freaking vote for Kamala Harris. This X post made me so mad I almost threw the damn phone across the room. I need a goody powder because I have a headache. Why is it this illegal alien, this so-called migrant from Venezuela, left a receipt at the cash register in one of the New York City bodegas? Hold up. I'm going to tell you. Why is it that this heifer, who has never put anything into this country, never worked in this country, never paid Social Security tax, never paid a property tax, never put into the IRS, never paid anything into anything, came here with her damn hand stuck out?
Not only did she come here with her hand stuck out, but it was filled. It was filled while they have no care in the world. And in addition to that, the larger the family, the larger the members of that immediate family, the more they receive. Now, I do want to just make mention that these are balances. Okay, this is not what they started out with. This is what they have been left with as a balance, which can only mean that there was a larger amount to start with. So these are just the numbers that we've been given, which to me is a sheer slap in the face for someone, as this woman has stated, has invested absolutely nothing into this country, don't pay taxes, and are basically being paid to come over here and set up shop and establish a foundation for their families when they have no investments into this soil.
Came from shithole country, wherever the hell you from. This individual left the receipt where she had just bought some food at the bodega. Okay? Her food stamp balance, let me make sure I'm getting this right, on her EBT card, her taxpayer funded EBT card, her food stamp balance is $13,401.82 for 1 month. That's this individual's food stamp balance for 1 month. Okay? Because when you use your EBT card, it leaves a record of the balance after you've gone to the store and spent it, whatever. But somehow, this bitch who has literally never, and yeah, I said it, I'm gonna say it again. This bitch who has never paid anything into the system is somehow worthy to get $13,401.82. Cash balance is $4,498.85.
Okay, so this is a cash balance. Boy, the things that we can do with $4,400 cash, not to mention the price of food, inflation, everything being totally priced upward to the point where we are unable to afford even some of the basic necessities that are required for day-to-day living. This is disconcerting. It is frustrating. You can hear and see the frustration in her voice, and she speaks. This woman speaks for many. I just don't understand how you can be so brazen and say that you don't have money when you're printing it at will, but you have money to send to other countries. You have monies for whatever you want to spend them on. Taxpayers' monies where we don't have a say. We don't have a voice where it goes. And yet we're left holding the bag, and we are also left struggling collectively with the way the economy is set up. But you can welcome with open arms people you don't know. You don't know what kind of backgrounds they're coming from, what they're bringing into this country, whether it's tangible or intangible, crimes, mental illness, drugs. This is just, it is like alarming, and it just makes me speechless as to how you can throw these numbers and this type of monetary gain to those that you don't even know. And it poses the first question most of us will ask is why? Why do they get what citizens that have built this country and maintain it and keep it flowing don't get? We don't get entitled to any of it. So let's go on to the next branch of this same topic. And what infuriates me even more is when you're dealing with veterans, those that have served, those that have gone to war, those that have been away from their families, most of them deployed and separated from their families for a majority of their time in service. And then they come home, or they come to the United States, welcome home, and they can't afford as stated, the bare necessities, or they're struggling. If they're home on disability, whether they're retired, whatever their income is, once they are no longer active in the military branches, they don't qualify, or they qualify for the bare minimum, which seems to be $23. So let's listen to this gentleman's story.
Migrant, okay, an immigrant, left a receipt in the store. And you know how I got the food stamp remaining balance at the bottom of the receipt, right? $13,500 with a $5,000 cash, Larry. Migrant, somebody that's not from this country. Now, you are a veteran. You've also served this country, correct?
Correct.
Now tell these people, after I just said they left the receipt with a $13,000 food stamp balance. Tell these people, as a veteran that served this country, right? Tell them how much food stamps you get in a month.
$23. $23.
23, not 2,300.
$23.
Not 230. How much you getting in food stamps a month?
$23 a month.
And on this receipt, you can visibly see $13,401.82 as their EBT food stamp balance. And their cash balance is $4,198.80 something cents. And you have this veteran saying that he gets a mere $23 a month. Ooh.
$23 versus a person that's not even from this, versus a person that did not serve this country. $13,000 they said it was on that receipt.
$23.
And you fighting to get your what?
100.
Your 100% from the VA.
That's another issue that many veterans that come home, or they have completed their term in the military, they have to fight in order to get their just due. Whether they're a disability, they're disabled when they come home, I feel all of them should receive, if they don't, disability from serving, especially if you've been deployed and you have been deployed and have been active in any capacity in any type of war. That's just my personal opinion. And I am entitled as of now to a personal opinion. And this is a shame how we have homeless veterans. We have hungry veterans. We have veterans that are unable to afford the basic amenities that they should automatically be given, in my opinion, when they serve and they complete their service with an honorable discharge.
Yeah.
He can't even get it.
Right.
America, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. See if Kamala gonna fix that. Here this man is a veteran, okay? Fighting for his 100%. He done fought for this country, and he get $23 worth of food stamps every month. And then they done found of an immigrant, a migrant, getting $13,000. Is it not a slap in the face?
Actually, it's got to be more than that, because again, we're looking at the balance. We're not looking at the starting amount or the granted amount per month. Let me say that again. Per month.
In the face. But that's sad. Fight for this country ain't even worth it.
That was sad to hear him say that, because you know that was heartfelt, and you know that was genuine. And he just looks defeated in some aspects. It's literally a slap in the face to learn that the service and the sacrifices and the time away from your family you have spent serving this country, and they show you what they think of you, and that's the thanks you get. Welcome to America. Now, since we have established the disparity between actual immigrants and citizens that are native and documented in this country of the United States of America, we are obviously and painfully in a political season. We have Kamala Harris and we have Donald J. Trump competing and representing their parties for the presidency of the United States. Now, the question again I want to raise, and many others do as well, as to why. Why is so much being given to immigrants? Why are the borders not being properly controlled? Why is there such an effort to disrupt the flow, the economy, and the balance of this country to accommodate people? We all know that the powers that be, they don't do anything unless they get something in return. It's a business. The United States of America is a corporation. There is always a bottom line. There is always a reason. And while we are left to assume or to do some critical thinking or to surmise our own conclusions as to the possibility as to why the immigrants are just having free reign, being welcomed in, it just doesn't feel right, it doesn't sound right, and it doesn't seem right. There is an article that I just want to bring to the attention of those. I don't know how to zoom this in. Full screen layout. Let's try it that way. Okay. So there is an article where it says migrants' monthly payment in New York is higher than veterans' compensation. So let's just go through this a little bit to maybe give some perspective, because as we know, or if you may not be aware, that California and New York City are usually trends, or the state of New York is usually trend-setting states as to how the rest of the country typically and usually will follow suit when it comes to laws, bills, and standards being set. We learned that as well with the yabby yabs back during the COVID pandemic, right? And how people were not able to continue work. They were let go from their jobs, if they did not cooperate and participate. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. New York City has taken in more than 175,000 migrants and have spent upward of $1.5 billion just in fiscal year 2023 to shelter, feed, and provide services to migrants. Now, I want to note that this article was published April 3rd. So we're about 3 or 4 months out. So those numbers have more than likely increased, but I just wanted to give that context to the article. The city has said that there is no end in sight to the copious numbers of migrants and projects, that an extended timeline in the current rate of migration means a cost to the city of approximately $12 billion by the 2025 fiscal year. Not only that, but Mayor Eric Adams has requested more assistance from the federal government, has said that the influx of migrant could destroy his city. Last time I checked, that's exactly what's happening. So they are looting laundromats, they are stealing, they are robbing. There has been so many closures of small businesses. A lot of the larger corporations have withdrawn and closed storefronts, brick and mortar buildings, to relocate them or to transfer their businesses online. And this has been a likely place because of the number of people that are unsustainable. When prior to the migrants being let in during this administration, the population, the cost of living, the economy was just unaffordable and really hard to deal with prior to all of that. And now you're dealing and you're having to accommodate many people coming in from several different other countries, including China, Venezuela, Mexico. You've got it, the list goes on, right? And they are accommodating these people as they come into these cities, especially the, I forgot what they call them, the where the cities, oh, I'm losing it. Safe harbors where they come in and they're pretty much contracted to, take them in and care for them, right? So as this article proceeds, migrants coming to New York City are being given prepaid debit cards that in certain cases, like food assistance, dwarf the amounts provided to families of legal status. For example, the average family of 4 months SNAP payment is $713, but the migrant families of 4 receive $1,400 a month. Now, my question is what justifies that receipt then? If this information is accurate, or it was as of April of 2024, then because $13,500 is a large stretch and jump from $1,400 a month, unless you're taking care of a village, to quantify the numbers of $1,400 a month. The total is also higher than military veterans' disability compensation. I want to read that again. The total is also higher than military veterans' disability compensation. A veteran who has a 50% disability rating and a spouse and one child receives $1,255.16 once every 4 weeks. Y'all, that's monthly. Who can live? I don't know anybody that can live a family of 1, much less 4, off of $1,255 a month. When a child under age 18 is added to that family, the payment rises $51 to $1,306 a month, still nearly $100 less than what a migrant family of 4 receives from the prepaid card assistance. Now, I do want to scroll down because the subject and the reason why I'm discussing this and bringing this up is because now we're starting to get into, are the immigrants, are they able to vote? Because it's the only thing that really makes sense here. Why would the Democratic Party and the Democratic administration and the Democratic president, along with the administration, be willing to provide so much monetary allowances for those that have earned none of it? What are they going to benefit from it? How will they come out in the end? Because as we know, people don't do something for nothing, right? Let's see here. Okay. So we've got the Republicans right now that are pushing. I want to switch the screen. Hold on one second. So it says, and this article was written in May of 2024, right? One political party is holding urgent news conferences and congressional hearings over the topic. They're speaking of the immigrants being able to vote. The other says it's a dangerous distraction meant to seed doubts before this year's presidential election. In recent months, the specter of immigrants voting illegally in the United States has erupted into a leading election year talking point for the Republicans. They argue that legislation is necessary to protect the sanctity of the vote as the country faces unprecedented levels of illegal immigration. So at this point, citizenship is not necessarily required in order to vote. And I say that when it pertains to ballots. So if they are able to do what they were able to do during COVID, during the election year, and do mail-in ballots, that will definitely affect verifying citizenship, legal citizenship in this country in order to vote, right? Voting by people who are not U.S. citizens already is illegal in federal elections, and there is no indication it's happening anywhere in significant numbers, yet Republican lawmakers at the federal and state levels are throwing their energy behind the issue, introducing legislation and fall ballot measures. Republicans in Congress are pushing a bill called the SAVE, which stands for Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, that would require proof of citizenship to register to vote. Meanwhile, Republican legislatures in at least 6 states have placed non-citizen voting measures on the November 5th ballot, while at least 2 more are debating whether to do so. So we just don't want to gloss over that. So in one sentence, it says that even though federal elections, it is illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections, in the very next paragraph, it says, meanwhile, in 6 states, 6 states have currently placed non-citizen voting measures on this upcoming election ballot. American elections are for American citizens, and we intend to keep it that way. Hello, I just don't understand. If that's the case, then why can't we go to other countries and participate in their voting process? I just don't get it. Outside of that, unless that's all you want it to be able to secure the next election. So you're buying votes? Is that what it's looking like right now? Because to me, there's no other plausible explanation. Democrats on the committee lambasted their Republican colleagues for focusing on what they call a non-issue, arguing it was part of a strategy with former President Trump to lay the groundwork for election challenges this fall. It appears the lesson Republicans learned from the fiasco that the former president caused in 2020 was not don't steal an election, it was just start earlier. The coup starts here. This is where it begins. Y'all, the writing pretty much is on the wall for me. Everybody has their own thoughts on the process. I'm just here to bring talking points and to correlate possibly why, when, where, and how when it comes to this immigration issue. I've been covering several videos over the course of 2024, when it comes to the migration, everything from squatting rights in New York City to the benefits that they receive, to the crime that has gone up exponentially in certain areas where there's a high level of immigration status. There's just really like I said, the writing seems to be on the wall, but we cannot just continue to allow these things to take place. While we are speaking on federal elections, I want to also add my 2 cents in to say and emphasize that local elections are, if not as equally, they are more so important than federal elections, right? Because it starts there and it's going whatever laws and bills and people that are elected to modify or to implement said laws and bills is going to affect you locally quicker and more in depth than it will affect you on a federal level. It's a trickle down effect, in my opinion. So with that being said, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your lending your ear. And yeah, so we'll see you on the next video. Peace and blessings to everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'm out.